How much does that pole barn cost, and can you just give me the number? This might be a question that you ask a lot and a question we get asked a lot, but there's so much that goes into that question. So in this video, we're gonna break down the 5 factors of why it's hard to give a specific number to a pole barn and why we give ballpark prices.
Before we dive into this video, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to keep up to date on all the content about post frame construction.
We're gonna tackle these 5 points fast to make sure this video doesn't get long for you. So number 1 is building location. This affects your materials. They have to get built and then shipped. So the freight costs, the hours for the driver to get the materials to you all play a factor, as well as permitting and cost to get your permit can vary on location by state, by county. And then lastly is the crews, where your crews are located at, and having to drive to your location every day to build that building creates a factor of cost as well. So that's why your building location will affect the cost of your project. Point number 2 is building features. Now you might say, hey, I want that building, give me that price. Why do other building features matter? Very rarely do people take a building picture and build the exact same thing. So you might add a window or a walk door or a porch or a cupola, and those things cost more money and change the cost more than you realize. And then you're confused because, hey, I got this quote online and then I changed 4 or 5 things and now it's very different. That can be a big factor in why your building features really change the cost of your building. Point number 3 is, when are you going to build? Now you might ask, oh, I love that building. It was built in 2018. Give me the price of that building. We can't do that because if you're building in 2023 or the end of 2023 or 24, 25, it's gonna be extremely different because the material prices change. Steel, lumber, screws, paint systems, all of that is constantly fluctuating. So for us to give you a direct price years ago to years to come, it's gonna be very different. So we gotta update that and think about that, which is another reason why when you're gonna build changes your building cost. Number 4 is your interior build out. On the pictures we give you, a lot of times you don't see what the interior looks like, or you get a very small glimpse of what the interior looked like. And that's gonna dramatically change your building costs. So for you to be like, hey, I love that interior, all you saw was 30% of it, and you don't know what the rest of it is. So it's hard to get a correct glimpse on how you're gonna finish it out. Are you doing drywall? Are you doing steel liner? Are you doing concrete, wood flooring? Is it a home? Is it a basketball court? Is it just storage? All of that stuff factors in and plays a big factor if we're to give you a quote of that building versus how you're gonna actually finish it out. Point number 5 is site prep. Now, we don't do this site prep as a post frame builder, but it's a part of your total project cost. So how are you gonna do that if you have to get rid of trees or move obstacles out of the way, whether you gotta take off the top layer of sod, put down gravel or sand, different features like that are gonna dramatically change your building cost. So for us to give you the price of a building you're looking at, that can't take into account what your site prep is, and it's not going to. So that's gonna really change the factor of what your building is gonna cost you on the total scope. So all of these 5 factors are a reason why it's hard to give you a direct quote. We're not trying to be painful, we're not trying to be annoying. We wanna help empower you make the best post-frame building decision you can, but it's really hard and we don't wanna mislead you. These factors play a huge part in that number being a big variance, when that is why we give you ballpark numbers. Take that number, times it by the square foot you wanna make your building, between the 2 numbers we give you, and in that scope is what your building cost is gonna be. I know it's a variance, I know it has a range, but that will give you an idea of where you could be versus us giving you the actual price of what that building cost in 2015 and it greatly misleading you as you start to plan and budget for what that building's gonna cost you. So that's the reason why we're not trying to be painful. We wanna help you and be as accurate as possible. We hope this video added some clarity and maybe cleared up some confusion you might have on pricing and things we put online and when we don't give specific numbers and give ballparks. For more information like this, feel free to like and subscribe for more information while coming out and answering any questions you might have in the future. And always remember to build with confidence.